Hey, what's up guys? It's Jake and I have some awesome news. Kadence Blocks 3.0, the beta version, was just released, and so I wanted to give you an exclusive first look and sneak peek into some of the new features and a number of the changes that they've made to make building websites so much easier than before. Kadence Blocks has already been the best Gutenberg extension plugin out there for WordPress. And with this release, they have pulled a mile ahead of other competitors out there. And so I want to show you a number of these things. Let's jump in and start building. So the very first thing I want to mention is that Kadence Blocks 3.0 is 100% backward compatible. And what that means is that every single thing that you have built with Kadence Blocks prior to this version is going to completely work and nothing is going to break on your website. And so I want to do a little before and after comparison quick and show you what I mean. So here I am on a sample page. I'm going to go up to the Kadence design library and I'm connected to the Start Blogging Blocks library. And that is a set of templates that we have built with Kadence Blocks that help you build landing pages and blog posts so much faster than before. And I'm going to add some of these templates here with the old version of Kadence Blocks and then with the new 3.0 version and show you how they're compatible. So I'm going to go down to the hero section here and I'm going to choose that. And then I'm going to add this hero section here. And then right below this, I want to add some content boxes, a 3-column set of content boxes where you could list your services or whatever it is. So I'm going to go to the design library. I'm going to go to content and I'm going to scroll down and let's add this one right here. And so you can see that I have a hero section and a 3-column content box section here. And this is the Kadence Blocks version prior to version 3.0. And so these are all the old settings here. And so now let's jump over to a new website with Kadence Blocks 3.0 and add the same templates. And so here I have a website with the brand new Kadence Blocks 3.0 and I'm going to add those same exact templates here. So I'm going to go up to the Kadence design library. I'm going to go to the hero section and then I'm going to add this one right here. And so now that that's added, I want to add the 3-column content box section as before. So I'm going to go to the Kadence design library. I'm going to go to content and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to add this one right here. And so now I have the 3-column content box section added here as well. If you want to check out Start Blogging Blocks, we have an entire library of templates available to you. Right now we have nearly 250 templates and we are growing very, very fast. And so we have templates that are page building templates. And so that's going to help you build things such as landing pages or sales funnels so much faster. So that would be things such as like hero sections and content sections. And we have, pricing tables up here, FAQ sections. And then we have a ton of templates that are aimed at helping you build affiliate blog posts so much faster that are going to convert and make you more money on your website. And so that's going to be things such as product boxes here where you can showcase products or different Amazon affiliate items. We have different pros and cons boxes here. We have alerts if you want to call out different information in your blog posts. And there's just so much to choose from. And we do have over 70 free templates available to you. In fact, here are all the free templates that are available, including some Linktree templates and a bunch of really cool things. So if you want to get that, you can go to startbloggingblocks.com. And then if you just scroll down and you fill out this form right here, it'll send you your free license right away and you can get started with this on your website in less than 1 minute. So if we go back to the old one and scroll up, we can see that we have the hero section and the 3-column content section. And then on the new page here, we have the hero section and the 3-column content section. But the difference is that all of the block settings are completely updated now. So they look the exact same, they work the exact same, but now you have a whole new set of block settings. And so with the old version here, you can see that we had all of the block settings listed out here and it caused a lot of scrolling and they just weren't very organized. But now if we go to the new one, you can see that we have different tabs here. So we have layout with different settings here. We have a style tab, which has all of your style options available to you. And then we have an advanced tab as well, which has like your padding and margin, and then other things that aren't related to layout and style necessarily, such as, block defaults, custom CSS, visibility, and all that. And so this is really nice to now be able to go in and find exactly the setting that you want to tweak, go in there and tweak it. And so as you click on other blocks here, so I'm going to click on this advanced text block, you can see that they all have this consistent 3-tab layout, which is general, style, and advanced. All of your same settings, as long as the block has it, are going to be in the same exact location. It's going to make finding your settings so much easier, and it's just going to be a much more intuitive process overall. So now that we've seen that Kadence Blocks 3.0 is fully backward compatible, let's remove these sections and start building them from scratch to start going over some of the differences and changes that you'll see. So let's go in and start building a hero section with the new Kadence Blocks 3.0. So I'm going to do a slash here and add a row layout at the Kadence row layout block. And this row layout block has completely changed. It was totally revamped. It was rethought, and it is so much easier to use. And there's so much more that you can do with it. So I'm going to add a 2-column section here. And then I'm going to click in here and I'm going to choose the option to inherit max width from theme. And so what that's going to do is make sure that my content is within the confines of my max width that I have set globally for my website. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add a background color here. So for a background color, I know that I need to go to the style tab here. I'm going to go to background color and I'm going to choose this color here, and that changes that. And one of the first things you'll notice when you hover over this is that it shows the padding. And so you can see that I have bottom padding and top padding here, and it's set to small, which is a variable, which I'll talk about shortly here. But that's a really nice visualization to be able to see where the padding is showing, whereas in the past, we didn't really have that ability to easily see how much space the padding was taking up. And so on the left-hand side here, I'm going to add an advanced text block. And so I'm going to choose advanced text here. I'm going to change the color to white so that we can see it. And then I'm going to say, this is Kadence Blocks 3.0. Check it out. And so with this advanced text block, one of the first things you'll notice is that font size here, we have different variables available to you. So you can choose small, medium, large, XL, double XL, triple XL. And so I'm going to choose XL here. And this is really, really nice because it's using variables in the background, and Kadence has added clamp. And you don't necessarily need to know what clamp is, but what that does is it's going to make the responsiveness of these headings and the font size so much nicer than they were before. So you won't have to go in and change your font size for tablet and for mobile each time to tweak it so that it looks great in each one. It's going to automatically just filter down and get smaller or bigger based on your viewport. And I'll show that when we preview this page shortly here. And then if you don't want to use one of these variables, you can obviously just come here and you can choose this, and you can choose whether you want pixels or ems or rems or whatever you want. But it's really nice because I'm going to be using these variables. They use clamp in the background. It's so much easier to use, and it's going to do a lot of the work for you. Another thing they added here is they have a line for just the line height here. So you can specify just a number. Prior, you only were able to do pixels or ems or rems, and that wasn't very flexible. So now I can just come in here and I can say 1.2, and that's going to help condense that space a little bit and help my heading look a little nicer than before. And so now it doesn't matter if you use larger text here, it keeps that line height at just 20% larger. And so that's really nice. So now I'm going to add another advanced text block here. I'm going to choose paragraph to make this a paragraph. And then I'm going to add some dummy text here really quick. That looks like that, and that's looking good. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add an advanced button. And one of the very first things I noticed is that this no longer has no background color with just an outline like it did in the previous version. Now it is taking on my theme color right off the bat. I love that. It has the button text. It has the cursor already in there, so I can already come in here and say call to action. I know this is going to be my call to action button. And then you have a lot of these Gutenberg control settings, which is really nice built in. This is what I love about Kadence, is it is a perfect hybrid theme between them doing their own thing where Gutenberg is lacking and having something that's very, very intuitive and easy to use, and then also using Gutenberg features that kind of blend together and just make this beautiful product. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to justify these items to the left. And then you can see I'm at the single button right here. So this is an individual block within a parent block. So advanced buttons is my parent block. So I have that chosen now. And then there's a button here that says duplicate the previous button. So now I have a perfect duplicate of my button. I'm going to come in here and just say secondary button. And I'm going to come over here and you can see that you have different options, you know, for an outline or fill. You can make this large or medium, and then your button width, you can have it, you know, fill up the remainder of the space or be auto. I'm going to keep it at auto. And then in the style here, I like the text being white, so I'm actually just gonna force that to be white here. And then let's go to the background color, and I'm actually just going to turn that to 0, and that's just gonna make it transparent. And so there's my secondary button. And so when you hover over the call to action, it looks like that, and the secondary button looks like that. And if we preview this quick, and that's looking good so far, but I do want to add some top and bottom padding to this row layout block. So let's go do that quick. So back here, I'm going to go to the top level row layout, and I'm going to go to the advanced section here. And one awesome thing is you can see that the padding, when you hover over it, you can visualize exactly where the padding is. And so that's a really cool new feature. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm actually gonna bump this up to, let's see, I'll probably do 3XL. And I'll do the same for the bottom here. And then as I hover over this, you can see that I have 3XL for padding on the top and 3XL padding for the bottom. The next thing I'm gonna do is come over to this section, and I'm just gonna add a placeholder image here. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to add an advanced image, which is the Kadence image block here. I'm gonna select an image, and I just have a placeholder image that I'm gonna add here. I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to align this center. And then I'm going to come down and turn off the caption here. So that looks really good. And then I'm actually gonna force a max image width here of about 375 pixels. So that looks good. And if we preview this quick, we can see that we have that padding on the top and bottom. That looks really good now. But one thing I wanna do is just vertically align this to be in the center, this left-hand section here. So if I come back here and I go to the overall section, I'm gonna come to the section here and I go to the vertical alignment here. I'm gonna align this middle, and we're gonna view this one more time. And so that looks really, really good. We have our headline here, we have our text, and then we have 2 buttons here, and that's looking great. One new feature that is really, really cool, and I'm gonna show this a little more in the next section that we build, but you now have the ability to easily flip sections around. So I can go like that, and I can super easily swap these sections, which is a massive time saver. In fact, that was a huge pain point for a lot of people, is they would have something built on the left-hand side and they'd want to add it to the right-hand side, and you'd have to come in and you'd have to like copy all of these blocks, copy the content, come over to the other one, you know, add a paragraph block and then paste it. And it was just such a pain. And now you can simply just flip these with the click of a button. So the next section that we're gonna build that is gonna show off a ton of these really cool features that Kadence Blocks 3.0 has is a 3-column content box section similar to what I had before. So this was the old website. I had this 3-column content box section. Let's build something like that and see all of the new features that we have available to us. So I'm gonna enter down here. I'm gonna type / and then row and choose the Kadence row layout. And this time I'm gonna do 3 even columns. I'm gonna click on here and I'm going to inherit max width from theme again. That's gonna make sure that the content is in line with this top section and that it looks perfectly aligned as you scroll down the page. And then let's start adding the top and bottom padding here like we did for the top section. So I'm gonna come over to advanced. I'm gonna come up to the padding here and I'm gonna choose 3XL. And I'm gonna go 3XL. And if we go back to the layout here, I didn't really show these off earlier, but we have all of the different layout options here. You can obviously change this for tablet and mobile. And you can see that when you're on mobile, it automatically just defaults to being stacked, which is what it had before, but that's what you want. And it's really nice to be able to see these. These are a little more updated and just a lot cleaner. So now I'm just gonna come into this first section here. I'm just gonna add a paragraph that just says some text. And then I wanna come up to the section level here. So you can see I'm at the section level, and I'm going to style this section, and then I'm going to copy and paste the styles to the other section. So I'm going to add some padding here. So I'm going to come over to advanced. And so if you want to add the same padding to all 4 sections here, you can just come up here and click the linked button, and then you can see it has this little slider here. And so I'm just going to come here and I'm going to choose small, which is 24 pixels. And you can see as I hover over it here, you can see it visualized on the left-hand side there, which is really, really nice. And so I have that padding added here, and then I'm gonna go over to the style here, and I'm going to choose the background color to be slightly off-white. I'm gonna go to the border styles here, and let's add a 1-pixel border that is this color here. And then border radius, again, I wanna add it to all 4 corners, so I'm gonna choose the linked option. I'm gonna do 8 pixels here, and then let's quickly add a box shadow. So I'll choose this, I'll come in here, and there we go. So I have padding added, I have the background color being changed, as a small border, and then a slight box shadow. And one other thing that I didn't do before is I'm going to come into the row layout, the top level row layout container. I'm going to go in advanced and structure settings, and I'm going to choose the option of inner column height 100%. And what that's going to do is make sure that all 3 of these sections are the same height, no matter how tall each one is. All right, so now what I can do is I can come in here, I'm at the section level, I'm gonna come up here and choose copy styles, and then let's paste this over into these 2 sections here. And so what that does is it really quickly adds those styles to all 3 of those sections, and that's looking awesome. And so let's preview this quick and see how it looks. So as you can see, we have our 3 sections here. We don't have any content in there other than this some text, but we're going to change that quick, and we're going to quickly add some content here. So back here, I'm going to delete this paragraph, and then let's add an icon here. And this icon block, I want to show you something that's changed that I really, really like. So this icon picker has been updated. So if you open this, you can see that all of the icons are listed in a single scrollable pane here, which is really, really awesome. Before, it used to use pagination, and you would have to go through, I think it was like 80 pages of different icons, but now you can just easily scroll through and flow through these. And then you also have the option for line icons, which are the outlined ones, or you can choose solid icons, which then breaks down to the solid filled in icons. And then even better, if you search icons here, say I want a star, you can see that it breaks it up between the line icons and the solid icons. So that is a small but very nice change that they've done to the icon picker that I think is going to help save a ton of time for people that are adding icons on their website. So for this one, I just want to add an icon here. So I'm going to choose this guy right here. So I have that, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to enter down, and I'm going to add an advanced text block, which will be our heading. Now there is a real small bug where the spacing is slightly off here. It's too large, but we'll get that fixed here really quickly here. And so I'm going to do content headline here, and we're going to center that. And then I'm just going to come into advanced, and we're just going to tweak this real quick. And so that just helps tighten that space up here. All right, so we have our content headline, and then I'm going to enter down, and I'm going to add in another advanced text block. This one is just going to be a simple paragraph, and I'll add some dummy text again really quick. All right, so we have that added. I'm going to align the text center here, and then I'm going to enter down one more time. I'm going to add an advanced button block. Again, I love this new advanced button block. It's so easy. It has my colors already, and this is going to be my call to action. And boom, that's basically done there. All right, so now we have an icon block, we have the advanced heading, we have the paragraph, and then a call to action button. One thing with the advanced heading is we now have the option to copy and paste styles. So this was not available in all the blocks, and now more blocks have this. So if you have a certain headline that you like, and maybe you have a certain font size that you have applied to it, and maybe you add different font weight. So you're changing the font weight, you have a different font size, and you're like, hey, I want that to apply to this other headline that I have. Well, now you can come in here, you can copy the styles here, and you can apply it to any other headline that you want, which is a huge time saver. So now that I have all my content in this block, let's quickly paste this over to the other blocks here. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to hold the shift button and select all these and copy the blocks, and then let's just paste these in here, and boom, we have 3 content boxes here that all match, and that is looking awesome. Let's preview this on the front end, and if we scroll down, we can see that this is looking really, really good so far. So now I'm going to show you a couple really, really cool things that are extremely powerful. This is what I love so much about the new row layout block. And so if I'm at the top level row layout block, you can see there's a new button here and it says add another section. And if I click that, boom, I have another new section added in there perfectly, and it's right in line with everything else. And that's because it's using the power of grid CSS, which is a new thing with the row layout block. And so if I come in here and I just click this 2 more times, you can see that I have 3 new sections here just like that. And I can come in here, you know, I can copy these styles, I can paste them in here really quick. So we'll paste, and then I'm gonna take this content and we're gonna copy that and we're going to paste it over. And just like that, a section of 6 now, of 6 content boxes, And watch this. The coolest thing is that if you come into the section here, you can really easily swap all of these around. It's amazing what you can do now. So you can come in here and swap any of these. So before, you used to have a section here and you're like, man, I really wish that I could just move this section with this content over to this left one. And you used to have to copy it. You'd have to copy this one over and act as a temporary one and paste it into here. And it was just such a mess. And so now you can just really quickly come in here, swap all these around. And it is just amazing what you can do with this grid CSS. And then another thing is at the top row layout here, you have column gutters, and these are all using the variables and things. So if I just choose large here, that's going to change the column gutter between these, and I can also choose large for the row gutter. And so what that does is I have a perfectly symmetrical grid layout here with large between the columns here and between the rows. And that is just really, really easy to change. And it's using the CSS variables in the background, which I'll show you here quick. And so now I want to show you the power of these CSS variables and the new design system that Kadence has built, because this is so much more powerful than you think. And this is just the first step towards Kadence building an entire global style section where you're going to be able to change different parts of your website and have it all change at once. And so let me preview this and show you what I mean. So this is going to be slightly technical, but bear with me because I just want to show you the power of these CSS variables. And so if I inspect this headline right here, and so now you can see that this font size is set to a variable with a fallback here. And this variable is global KB font size of XL, which I had set in my editor. And so this is using clamp, as you can see when I hover over this. So this is extremely powerful, and you will not have to be tweaking all of your headline font sizes and all that constantly. And so I had to turn on the device toolbar here. And if I slowly bring this down, watch the headline here and watch as the viewport gets smaller. So as it gets smaller, you can see that it's ever so slightly getting smaller as my viewport gets smaller. And so as it goes to each different section here, tablet and then mobile, it just flows perfectly. In fact, you barely even noticed it, but that's the beauty of clamp is so as you have it at desktop here at full width, and then as you slowly go down into tablet size, and then you slowly go down into mobile, it's just going to automatically update. It is beautifully mobile responsive. And this is a game changer for those of you using Kadence Blocks. And then if I scroll down here to the content boxes that I had, if I inspect these, you can see I have my inner column here, and you can just see that all across the board, there's so many more variables being used now. So you can see that my border has these variables set to my colors, and you can see that the padding top and all of my paddings here are set to that small global spacing. And so that just makes it really, really easy and responsive for your website to be able to use these variables. And then if you ever want to change it, you can just change the variable and it will update throughout your site. So back in the editor here, I just want to show you a couple more really cool things. And so I'm at the top level row layout here. And if I go over to the advanced tab here and I scroll down to the custom CSS section, you can see that there was a tiny little thing added called edit in modal. And this is going to be so much nicer than it was before. In fact, if you wanted to add custom CSS to a row layout or a section, you used to only be able to use this tiny little thing here, and it was really cumbersome and it was very difficult to be able to get your CSS in there. But now if you choose edit in modal, that comes up into a nice modal. You have way more room to be able to add your custom CSS and tweak it the way you want. And then you can close out of here, and that will all just apply to your section or row layout. And then one other thing is this block default section. So you can see that this sets the current block attributes as the default styles for this block type. So if you have a block that you work with and you always like to have it with a certain amount of padding or this border type or whatever it might be, you can come in here and save that as a default, and then you can confirm that, and that will now be a new default that you can choose. And so that's a lot nicer going forward because the block defaults in the past weren't all completely updated. And so now there's a much more consistent feel and system with the block defaults. And so that's all I had for this Kadence Blocks 3.0 overview. I hope that it helped you out and showed you some of the new features and things that you can look forward to when this finally goes into production. And honestly, I barely even scratched the surface of all the things that they've added. This is a release that they have been working on for a very, very long time, but I promise that the wait was worth it, and that using Kadence Blocks going forward is going to put you way ahead of the curve and allow you to build pages and blog posts so much faster than you were before. I want to give a huge shout out to the entire Kadence team for all of your hard work that you've been put in for so long on this new release. And thank you for listening to all the customer feedback and helping make this product even easier to use than it was before. Thank you so much for watching, and go build those websites. Peace.